Uh, okay, so I am replacing the heater core, or just replaced the heater core in my 2015 Ford F-150 3.5 liter EcoBoost. It's a Lariat or King Ranch or Platinum or whatever. It's I think it works for all these that have the center console and all that, and the Sync 3, the big Sync 3. So your heater core is in that box. It's actually on top of the box and comes out, and you have to remove your dash to get to this thing. It's not the best design, but let's get something. Anyway, it's a pain in the butt. As you can tell, I removed both seats and my center console to get to this, and then I had to remove my gauge cluster and my radio out. So we'll kind of go over it step by step real quick. Remove both your front seats. There are 4 bolts, and excuse the mess, but under your driver's seat you will see this. They have these 2 plugs that go in. Under the passenger seat you've got the 1 plug that goes in. So just remove the 4 bolts and remove those plugs, and you can easily get them out of the truck. The center console is fun. You have this pigtail that comes in on the side. You'll have to unplug it. You'll have to remove the 2 trim pieces that go down either side of it, and then you'll unplug this little pigtail. And there are I think 2 bolts up front, 1 on each side, and then there's 2 bolts back here, 1 on each side in the back, and the center console will come loose. You'll have to pull some trim off to really get to all this, but the fun part is getting this out, the top tray part. You got the sliding tray and then your shifter here. To get that, you'll have to pull the 2 trim pieces that come off the radio, which is fine because you're going to have to pull those anyway. So you pull those, and then you're able to get that tray out, and then you're able to get your shift linkage disconnected. If your gear selector is in your center console like mine was, this is your shift linkage. You'll have this little ball. You pop that off carefully. Don't want to break anything. And then you got this crazy stupid pin thing, clip thing in it right here, and you'll have to pry that guy out. And it's fun, and it's not easy to get to. So that's pain in the ass part 1. So you'll get that guy out, and then you'll be able to remove your center console. Once you have your center console removed, you're going to go ahead and remove your LCD panel and your radio. Your radio control piece with your radio stuff and your thermostat, heat control and all that, that's it. It's got 2 screws up top, and the rest is just these little clips. And as you can see, you only have 4 plugs. Well, technically 4 plugs to unplug to get this sucker out. And then you can remove this, and you can get that out of the way. And then that leaves you with your LCD screen and your head. Then that'll leave you with your head unit. Like mine, I had the assisted CD changer. It mounts right here. It's just 4 bolts. You pull it out, you very gently get to the back, and then you unplug those 4 plugs. And then you have your LCD screen that sits up in here. It's in this little armored box. You will undo, there's be 6 bolts, 3 per side. You'll undo them, and on the back you have, on mine I have 2 plugs, as y'all can see, and you'll remove that out of your way. Also, this guy goes right there, hook into the vents for your center console and all that fun stuff. So you've got that guy, so you'll pull him off too. So you'll get all that section removed. The trim pieces, just go easy with the trim pieces. You have, I just used a little, I used that and then a screwdriver to very carefully go around and pop my trim pieces off. You have to get this top tray out. You pull the little screen over the speaker off. There's 2 bolts in the back. You remove those 2 bolts. You get it out of the way. And there's the 2 bolts up here for the radio piece. Once you get that out of the way, you can get your gauge cluster going. So you're going to remove the knee panel down at the bottom. Then you're going to remove the bezel from the bottom part of the steering wheel. And from the top part of the steering wheel, you'll remove the trim, the silver trim. In my truck it was silver, the silver trim that goes around the gauge cluster. And once you get that out of the way, you can actually get to the 4 screws that hold the gauge cluster in. There's 4 screws and 1 plug. You'll take those 4 screws off, you'll pull that 1 plug. Also, I pulled my little trim pieces for my air vents off because I didn't want to break them when I set the dash down. The next thing you want to do is remove your A-pillar trim pieces. It's just the handles. It's got 2 screws. They got 2 little covers, the screws, and you do have a pigtail. I think it's just on this side, just a little connector that you'll undo. Just on the passenger side. Might be one on the driver's side, I don't remember. I don't see one over there. I think it's just on the passenger side. But you'll undo that that pigtail. Also, as you see, this is part of your curtain airbag system. So before you do any of this, make sure that you have disconnected your battery. But yeah, that's part of your curtain airbag system that's covered up there. All right, so you're gonna pull that and get that out of the way. You're gonna pull your 2 bottom kick panels off. There's a bottom plastic piece that covers this, and it has one that covers over the fuse box there. There's another one that covers on this side where your emergency brake and all is. You're gonna pop those off. They're just held in there by trim tacks. You just pop them out. Once you get those out of your way and all the trim pieces out of your way carefully, you can drop your steering column. It is 4 bolts, and unplug every single plug on it. They are fragile. It will turn, and unfortunately it can't drop all the way down because of that bar that goes underneath it. There's that little bar right there that goes underneath it, so you can't drop it all the way down out of your way, unfortunately. Next thing you want to do is then you're going to undo your dash. The dash has, on this side, as you can see, I've got it set back up there. There are 3 bolts on this side, on the passenger side. There's 1 bolt up here, and this little hole right here, there is where a bolt goes in that. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's a bolt in there. The other side in the same place. You see I got that little plug sticking up. There's 2 bolts up in this one right there by your dash. It just is an easy trim piece to just pop off on both sides. To see the bolts, I had to stand up on my little runner and bring my ratchet in here and undo it with my ratchet, looking through the windshield. It was a pain in the butt. And then you have 4 bolts on this side over here. See, I got that big one back in, but there's 1 at the bottom, 2, and then that big boy. So once you get all that unbolted, there's also 2 bolts down on this side and 2 bolts down on this side at the bottom down here where your trim piece went. You're going to pull those, and then you're going to pull very carefully your dash forward, and you're going to unplug everything that runs from the dash to the firewall. So once you be a couple of plugs over here, that yellow and white cord right there, you're going to unplug it. That gray, burgundy, and white bundle right there, you're going to unplug those. I can't remember which ones are on this side, but there's a couple that you will unplug. It's not that many. You get those unplugged, and then you can very carefully move your dash. You're going to pull it forward, and then you're just going to pull the passenger side out as far as you can. Ideally, have somebody to help you hold your steering wheel and help do this. Once you get all of this out of your way, you can then get to the heater core, and it comes out the top of that little box. You'll see the teal silver pipes that run in, and you can come out of the top of that box. And it's just 2 quick clips. You pull the quick clips off, pop the pipes out, pull the heater core up out of the way, and throw your new one down in there. But that's how you tear this sucker apart. It's a pain in the butt. I do not suggest it for anybody. If it wasn't so expensive, I would have paid somebody else to do this mess. But that's it. Hope that helps. Y'all have a good one. I only made this now because I just thought about, I didn't see any good video that explained how to take this crap apart online any dang where. So maybe this will help somebody out. I hope it helps somebody out. Y'all have a good one.